Hey, welcome back to my channel. I am Xavier Smith, and today I'm going to teach you how to find real and complex roots of a function algebraically. You see there is a graph here. The reason we have a graph here is when you're just given a random function, you are going to likely be given one of the roots already. That'll just help you solve. So, by this graph, we can find our root. This is an x cubed. Our equation is x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 26. Since it is an x cubed, the degree is 3, so we know we have 3 roots. Now, when we look at our graph, we can tell there's only one spot where it intersects the x-axis, so we only have one real root, meaning we will have 2 complex roots. Now, with this graph, instead of someone just saying, well, what if like x minus 2 is a factor? No, we have to figure that out. So we see it intersects the x-axis at x equals 2. So that means x equals 2 is a factor, but we need x minus something will equal 0. So x minus 2 equals 0. So x minus 2 is one of our factors. Now, to see what our other factor is, it will be x minus 2 times whatever the factor will be. We have to divide the polynomials. So, if you do not know how to divide polynomials, please go watch my video on that. So, we're going to make an area model and just give ourselves some boxes. Now, x minus 2 goes on this side. Our first term, x cubed, drops in this box. How many times does x go into x cubed? Well, it goes in x squared times. X squared times negative 2 is negative 2x squared. Negative 2x squared plus what equals 4x squared? Well, plus 6x squared. How many times does x go into 6x squared? Well, it goes in 6x times 6x times negative 2 is negative 12x. Negative 12x plus what equals x? Well, it's plus 13x. How many times does x go into positive 13x? Well, it goes in 13 times. 13 times negative 2 is negative 26. Negative 26 plus what equals negative 26? Well, 0. So 0, 0, 0. So our other factor will be x squared plus 6x plus 13. So our equation is x minus 2 times x squared plus 6x plus 13 equals 0. And we already know 2 is our real number solution. So we could really just cross this out and just remember that 2 is in your solution. Because if you plug in 2, it's going to equal 0. So now we're just trying to find the factors here. So we have x squared plus 6x plus 13 equals 0. And that is not factorable. So I'm going to complete the square. X squared plus 6x. Remember, to complete the square, it's b divided by 2 squared. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. Squared is 9. So 6x plus 9, and then plus 13, and then remember you have to subtract whatever you added to keep the equation balanced, equals 0. Now this will be x plus 3 squared. That's x plus b over 2, and then, yeah. And then 13 minus 9 is 4, but I'm going to move this. This is 4. I'm going to move it over to the other side, and it will equal negative 4. We used to stop here because it's a squared equals negative 4. Can't do that, but we really can. This is a plus or minus negative 4. Now, if we just bring this up here, we will have x plus 3 equals plus or minus negative 4. Now, we move this 3 over. Negative 3 plus or minus root negative 4. Then we have x equals negative 3 plus or minus 4. We have to get rid of the negative. So this is, remember, I squared equals negative 1. This is 4i squared. And then x equals negative 3 plus or minus. The root of 4 is 2. And the root of I squared is I. And then remember, our real number solution was 2. So, from this equation and given us one root, we can find all of the roots of the equation, which is x equals -3 plus or minus 2i, comma, x equals 2. Well, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful.